The profit motive is amoral. It has no moral compass whatsoever, and can lead to a diverse range of outcomes. You can profit off of having slaves, and you can profit off of inventing a tool which improves countless lives. We need only look around at the countless examples to see the good things and immoral things that have occurred due to the profit motive. The amoral nature of the profit motive is something many people fail to grasp. Many right-wingers have deluded themselves into thinking the profit motive has magical, superhuman abilities to do good, even when completely unrestrained. The reality of oppression and exploitation carried out by private businesses, when they can get away with it, reveals the conservative view as nothing but an idiotic delusion, of the most dangerous variety. I do not think the profit motive is inherently good or bad. I believe it can be channeled appropriately to achieve the former, but it certainly has plenty of potential for the latter, as we have seen with the massive oppression and exploitation of the international working class. A poorly restrained profit motive will lead to extreme immorality due to the complete lack of a moral compass. It is for this reason that the profit motive must be subject to strict and harsh restraint. There are two primary means of limiting the potential of the profit motive to do harm, while maintaining its general existence so it can perhaps serve some utility. Some additional means could likely also be added here, but today I want to simply focus on these two. An additional candidate could arguably be consumer awareness, corporate transparency, and ethical consumerism, which makes it more profitable for companies to act morally than immorally, as this is something that interests the consumers they rely upon. Anyways, the first primary means is strict regulation carried out by a government which imposes all the necessary restrictions to prevent immorality and point the profit motive in the right direction. The second is the decentralization of the profit motive. What I mean by this is the democratization of the economy, or more specifically, the democratization of the means of production. Workers own and democratically operate their workplaces. This means the profit motive will have a more shared and balanced influence among the people, making it more difficult for it to be used for top-down oppression. The profit motive will be followed by democratically organized workers, making the likelihood of said profit motive exploiting or harming said workers, as it currently does, far slimmer. The profit motive is more balanced, meaning the interests of all are better represented, leading to less potential for immorality and exploitation of the mass, carried out by the few. This represents the balancing of power to prevent top-down and hierarchical exploitations of the profit motive, of the kind we currently see. As the individual follows the profit motive, they are incentivized to exploit the mass. As the individual follows the profit motive, it is not incentivized to exploit itself, as this is not in its own interest. Those are two means which I think can effectively restrain the profit motive, preventing its more negative side from showing, and harnessing it for good by pointing its aimless, amoral gaze in a more moral direction. Just remember that the profit motive is amoral, and does not care about right or wrong. It cares about what is profitable, and while this can be good, it can also be incredibly dangerous. We must be very cautious to limit to the latter, if we want to exist in a free, moral, and healthy society, rather than one dominated by oppression, exploitation, and destruction.